Superpowers usually change someone for the rest of their lives. Get super strength, and you might spend the rest of your life catching falling airplanes from the sky. Get super speed, and you might run from your ex your whole life. But what if your superpower was your life? The oldest written text we know of is the Epic of Gilgamesh, where he tries to find an immortal underwater plant that makes him immortal. That means immortality is something that humans have been thinking about for a long time now. Think about it. You can finally get to that daily running plan you want to do, but you got lazy and just forgot about it. Huh. もうできるのように日本語を勉強して just like the real weeb that you are. So like the ending of Gilgamesh, today I'd like to talk about how immortality is something you don't want to have. Ikuzo! I'm back. First, we need to define the kind of immortality we're talking about here. Immortality means that you're exempt from the state of being not alive. But usually, in movies, immortality comes with other superpowers like skin as hard as steel or fast regeneration. So we're gonna talk about biological immortality, which is more realistic, unlike this guy. Living things usually have three causes of death: disease, aging, and trauma. Biological immortality would be then the ability to not age but still die to the two other causes of death. However, aging is needed for metabolism, but aging makes metabolism disrupt itself to death, which means that as we get older and older, we get closer to having heart attacks or cancer. In industrialized countries, 90% of deaths daily are attributed to age-related causes. But even if we humans still can't reach this stage, at least we know it's possible. Like this jelly boy that can turn itself back into a baby, or this hydra because all its cells are made of stem cells. This makes these two theoretically immortal. I say theoretically because these things can still simply be eaten. That means even if you're biologically immortal, there's still a risk of you dying, because all of the unlikely things that will happen will now become likely for you. This is a simulation by Polstats showing how long people would survive if the only causes of death were unlikely accidents. It shows that the human life expectancy jumped significantly, saying that
it's over 9,000
years. Now I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's nothing compared to how long our planet has left before being vaporized by the sun. Also, if you do die, when you do die, it's gonna be really bad. Like, surprise lightsaber! Coming from anywhere and kill you! Nature also prevents this thing from happening. For example, lobsters. They can potentially live and grow infinitely, but we don't see mega lobsters anywhere. That's because they eventually get hunted or get sick or lose energy from molting their shells. Sorry, Larry, but I can't.
Observe.
You. But let's say you were physically and biologically immortal. Well, now you have lifelong existential problems to deal with. If you were to live forever, then you would see everyone that you know and love die right before your eyes.
Hi, honey.
You could just make a new family, but then they die too. And at that point, what would the purpose of living eternally be if they have no one to share it with? And even beyond that, what would the purpose of living forever be if you're just gonna forget a lot about it? This is your brain. It can hold around 2.5 petabytes of storage. You might think that's a lot, but the way your brain works is it forgets small details that are unimportant and only remembers the big ones. Like, for example, after this, you're probably gonna forget what color of shirt I wore. And now, this is my last brain cell. So, in conclusion, the chance of achieving true immortality is slim, and the creatures that we know of that have reached that stage are likely to die after a while. Even if you did reach that stage, you would die in one of those horrible, bad ways. So if you were truly magically immortal, you'd be faced with those existential problems. And after all of that, you'd likely just forget about it anyway. So in the end, just like Gilgamesh, you'd probably agree with the saying, it was a short life, but a merry one.